And I am the young student host, Clinton Simmons.
And Brother Thomas Griffin is we're having him some fun, so we gave him a Saturday off. He may call in. I can't tell you where he is because he didn't want me to. But where it is, it's warm. All right, today we have two special guests. One in our first half, a dynamic sister. And I'm going to let her tell us who she is and what she's all about. Are you there, Sister Thornton?
I am here, Dr. Brown.
All righty. I'm going to let you do the narrative. Who are you and what are you about?
Well, I am a licensed ordained minister. I'm also an author, a playwright, a filmmaker, and I am now in production with my latest stage play, Black Wall Street.
Go ahead. Now, people need to know Black Wall Street relates to where and what.
Black Wall Street is actually the massacre that occurred in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921. And it has so far been excluded from history books as most of Black history. And I just felt it really relevant to today for us to understand. And I'm using a youthful cast, ages 7 to 14, to bring this story to the stage.
Okay, all right. Tell us when, where, and what you bring into that. You said how old they are, from 7 to 14?
7 to 14, and then I also have a supporting cast of my narrator and 2 city inspectors that are playing those roles. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be on Saturday, February the 25th at GA5, and that's in Washington Square, inside the mall at 10202 East Washington Street.
Repeat that again. You call it G Square?
All right, it's going to be GA5 at 10202 East Washington Street, inside the Washington Square Mall next to Target.
Okay. Why did you pick Wall Street? You've done other plays. You've done some publishing. What's some of the things you've done that people may want to check you out on?
Oh my goodness! I've done a feature film, Airing Dirty Linen. 2 short films, Item A1 and Item A2. Also, Yes, We Are Twins, but We're Different. Put that on at Washington Square. And as far as plays, I've done our weekly church bulletin, and then some Easter plays that I brought to the stage. But I was so excited about Black Wall Street because it was just a story longing to be told. And historians and people that are really into our history, such as yourself, we are well aware of these instances. You know, there were over 20, maybe 25 massacres across the United States. Black Wall Street is the worst one. And so I just felt that in the time that we are in now, it is important for us to know and to remember, and for children to know. That's why I wanted to utilize children, because like I said, I think you need to start children young. And that's why I wanted to instill in them a sense of pride. I found that when children are studying for parts, whether it's stage or film, it increases their learning ability, their reading level, and their sense of confidence. And so that's why I chose this, because it is such a moving story. And I've been telling people this is the best thing to happen to Black history since Carter G. Woodson started Negro History Week in 1926. This is going to be the most important thing going on.
All right, that sounds really good. I also have a question. Do you have a YouTube channel where you post the plays?
No, I don't have it on YouTube. No, I don't. I said I was going to set that up, but I'm always so busy writing and directing, so I'm going to give that to our IT person, and so that people can access them, and then also put some of them on my website.
Oh, now, you've been doing this for a minute. Is this a ministry? Is this the calling? What placed you in this?
This actually is a ministry. I thought when I started my literary pursuits in 1996, it was just something to fill a void because I had just recently become an empty nester. And I thought I was just, filling in with something because I had never written before. But the more that I've been involved in it and the way that I reach out and all of the hundreds and possibly thousands of people that I've helped, I think it grew into a ministry that was probably destined to do that, in the beginning.
Do you have, what you feel in your own experiences, have you been pretty, found people who are really cooperative and really interested, and young people interested in doing what you are doing with them? Are you able to find the enthusiasm out there?
Yes, I have had children that are really enthusiastic and excited to be a part. The part that sort of bothered me was I didn't receive the type of support from adults that I felt, but I guess that's just, a problem of today. It's just all about me. So a lot of times I use my own personal finances and everything to, work with children. I was with an after-school program where I offered free acting lessons at Him by Her, and it recently closed, but it's just part of my giving spirit. I've just always felt like, and then I tell people all the time, I went to an HBCU, and I feel that it is my duty.
What school was that? Which HBCU was that?
Simmons of Kentucky, and that's a historically black college and university.
Okay, you're a Simmons graduate. You're out of Louisville. What was your major?
Louisville, Kentucky. Huh?
What was your major?
Christian education, and then I attended CTS and got my master's in Christian theology.
Okay, master's of theology. All right. And let me ask you.
Most of my work is centered, around helping.
Okay. The question is, now, if people want to get in contact with you, how should they get in touch with you?
They can contact me by email, and my email is Delores, DELORES 910 @yahoo.com, or they can call me 317-400-7907. On Facebook, my name is just Delores, and then my maiden name, Lewis, Lewis, and then Thornton, Delores Lewis Thornton. I can be contacted in any of those ways.
Okay, now, since you've been in this, I'm going to ask you a question. If you don't want to try to answer it, just say, I'm not ready for that yet. But here's the question I ask across the country, really many places. You recognize we do have a lot of violence in our society, correct?
Yes.
Now, if our student was to ask you, where did violence begin? What was the origin of violence? What would that answer be to that young person, or even to an elder? Where did the origin of violence come from?
The origin of violence came from this country internally, dating back centuries, and the institution of slavery.
Okay,
when blacks were programmed to dislike themselves and, to have no disregard, it was literally just beaten out of us. And this is a violent society. It has been since we were violently brought here, and it plays out every day.
But then the indicator is, why now are we so easily violent upon one another? What do you think is doing that?
Because we have no respect or love for one another. And deep down, I think that we need to have love of ourselves. Because if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. And so human life has been devalued, and we are always hungry for something else. And it stems from greed, dislike of self, anger. There are so many different elements to our predicament, and most of them, I think, are carryovers from slavery.
Mm-hmm. I have a question, ma'am. Do you think that through these plays that the kids in it will experience love for themselves and show love outward to other people?
Yes, I think it will begin to. It's going to take more than a play. Because a play is like something in the moment, and we actually need a movement, sort of like the movements we had back in the day of SCLC, and when all the giants, the MLKs, and all them. We need to have a grassroots point where we begin to teach. I think Black history, since it's being taken out of the schools, I think we need to have Black history lessons in the churches, in area businesses. And we ought to book a place and have these lessons, because it really surprises me every time I put on something pertaining to Black history, all the adults that tell me they've never heard of it. You'd be surprised at the people that don't even know about Black Wall Street. They think it was just a street, or people just bought clothes. And now you have all of these online shops popping up saying that this is a Black history shop, and they're selling T-shirts and tennis shoes. And that, to me, is our problem. We're after a lot of name brand and these tennis shoes that they're still killing each other over. They have no idea about Black Wall Street, but they're going to find out on February the 25th.
Okay. Do you think our problem is, as I listen to you, I think about, don't you think in the Black experience we have now we moved from the slavery of social slavery and that, but now we are consumer slaves?
Yes, oh yeah. We are the world's top consumers, and that wouldn't be so bad if we were on the receiving end. Black dollars do not stay in the Black community one day.
Correct.
And if you look at other communities, the money just turns over and turns over and turns over. As soon as we get a dollar, we're ready to run outside of our neighborhood, wasting up a bunch of gas to try to give it to someone else.
Would you think?
We have no grocery stores. We have nothing of value in our communities.
So we really don't understand one of the philosophies of what economics is production, distribution, and consumption.
Right.
So if you learn how to be a producer and learn how to be in control of the distribution of what you produce, then you send that to a consumer, and the consumer does not always have to be us, but we are producers. Now, do you think in our abilities to produce plays and produce the music that we do, the hip-hop, that's a productional phenomenon? We produce it, but somehow we're not really distributing it or rotating it back into our communities.
Yeah, that's a big problem. Even if we would learn to utilize the businesses that are in our community, but we have the idea that our products are inferior, that the prices are too high. But what people fail to understand is we produce superior products and services, and the reason that it's so high is you won't come in and buy it. You'll go to one of the major stores or whatever that have, buying power and marketing dollars and all that. Until we begin to support each other, none of us can grow.
Okay, now you are in a ministry which is very good, and if people want to get in touch with you, I'm having you to repeat yourself because of the play. The play that you're doing is Wall Street. It deals with Tulsa, Oklahoma, back in the 1920s, just coming off after the First World War, if my memory.
Yes.
And there was Black Wall Street, and you say people don't really understand what Wall Street was. It was an economic enterprise where the money they had. You want to give a little description of that Wall Street as it was called?
Yes. It was really the epicenter of the Black community in that Tulsa area. And the reason there was so much contention and confusion was in the outlying areas where the whites were. They were extremely jealous of Black Wall Street because it was self-contained. They had banks, they had churches, they had hotels, theaters. They had everything, and it was just all in this one area. If you can imagine, if you can remember, Dr. Brown, Indiana Avenue. Now imagine 40 blocks houses and homes just located in that one area. You never had to leave the area in Greenwood and Black Wall Street to get anything. If you can imagine that now, it's anything similar to that. And so that's what I bring. And then I'm going to be at the Ujamaa bookstore on next Saturday, and I'm going to have part of the cast, and we're going to introduce a preview, a sneak peek of, and I will give some Black history facts because that's what I do periodically throughout the year, because I don't just celebrate Black history in February. I celebrate it all year long, and I put on little skits and bring back characters from the past that people didn't even know were African Americans. So that's what's going to be going on next Saturday.
Ujamaa, where is Ujamaa? Would you tell us?
That's 2424 Martin Luther King, right? They used to be called Northwestern back in the day. But it's Martin Luther King Street at 2424 MLK, and we will be there, my cast and I, between 12 and 1. And I'm going to give some Black history lesson and a very short sneak peek of the play.
Is that also where part of the Planter House is?
Yes, it's part of the Planter House, yes.
And it's a bookstore also, isn't it?
Yes, Ujamaa Community Bookstore.
Okay, and you'll be... go ahead.
And I have one question. Do you plan on making any plays over the Black diaspora as a whole, or only African American?
I'm not really sure. Now, I had, in my skits, I had incorporated Blacks throughout the diaspora. I even brought back the kings and queens of Africa. I did that years ago. And so, to me, if you're Black, you're just Black no matter where you are. So I try to encompass, the whole African scheme of things.
Nice. A good play that I would like to see personally is probably the Haitian Revolution. Not a lot of people know about that one.
Oh yeah, that's so sad, but yeah, that would be good.
Okay, well, Sister Thornton, you have given us a good, and that's the date again is what, the last Saturday of February?
The last Saturday of February, yeah, closing February on out, but I hope people will think of Black history every month and not just February. But
I'm sure you
I just chose that date because, all of the Black history is highlighted during that time. You can get publicity, I've had TV interviews, upcoming newspaper interviews, and so it is a way for us to highlight and spotlight things of the Black community. That's why I'm doing it in February, but I could have done it any month.
Is there a platform, because my next guest is also a playwright, and the significance about it is you all are females. Is there a platform for you all to generate a collective base where within the Black religious experience you would get support? Is that a possibility?
You know what? I would love that. That is a possibility for me. I'm going to be listening to your next guest, and actually I started doing my plays in the churches, and I guess because I am so familiar, I've been in church all my life. And so I know a lot of the congregations, the pastors, a lot of church members, and it's almost like my works, even my books, have been appealing to the Christian community because that's the world I'm in. So I think that would really be beneficial, if we could have a collective and network and communicate with one another.
I interact quietly in different circles, and one circle that I interact with, and maybe Clinton would want to chime in on this, is hip-hop. You're familiar with that, the hip-hop dynamic, right? You're familiar with that?
Right.
Now,
yes.
It was about when hip-hop first started, and I got to take it way back. I got to take it back to around 1992, 93, 94. Also, those were Has anybody thought about, now don't be offended when I say, have any of you all in religious circles, and even Clinton, looked in the scriptures and been able to look at the Psalms, the Proverbs, the Ecclesiastes, and be able to manufacture hip-hop methodology off the scripture?
I can't say that I have.
I'm looking at my colleague. For an example, I'll just give you one. What about the Lord is my shepherd? And a person knows how to put it into the rhythm, and at the same time make it a hip hop. Because all of the hip hop's lyrics that I hear, they're either giving a message, or they're even giving a complaint. Well, boy, I can't even get that word. They're complimenting or they're complaining. But I'm just saying, being able to take the scriptures, or those who I study with in regard to Islam, being able to take hip-hop in the Arabic and click it in. Is that possible? I'm looking at Clinton, and he hasn't said nothing.
I think it would be, and that sounds like that would really be exciting to explore for someone that is musically inclined. I am not, but I think that would really, as you were bringing that out, I was thinking of Song of Solomon and some of those, and especially like you said, the Psalms. I could see those being, looked at from hip-hop perspective, and sort of like, put some rhythms and the beats and everything to it. I could see that.
Okay, because if people, a lot of folk haven't had the experience, but if you go when you're in the Israel-Palestine, I call it Palestine, that whole area, when you hear them in their Hebrew, it's almost like rhythmic.
Oh yes. Don't get me started on Hebrew.
Yeah.
I put that in PTS and absolutely loved it. When you're reading the scriptures in the Hebrew Bible, it's almost like you're singing a song, but it's a melody when you read it in Hebrew.
That's what I'm saying. The hip hop,
yeah.
You can flip it into a hip hop kind of thing.
I see that.
Now, I took Hebrew, but I must admit, Hebrew took me. So.
Oh my goodness, it was difficult. Nothing like Greek.
No, it ain't like Greek. But all of the languages took me. I can read it, but doggone it, speak it, no.
Yes.
I'm still trying to speak English.
It was hard.
But no, I was just thinking, if people are so turned on, our young people are turned on to hip hop. It's a vibration.
Yeah.
It's an energy.
Right.
Suppose we can take those scriptures and let them energize it.
You know what, Dr. Brown? I'm going to propose that tomorrow to our choir director, Sister Janet Freeman, and I'm going to see if what she can do with that notion.
Okay, well, keep me informed. Then I want to see.
Sure
I want to see what you all come up with. Imagine taking some of the teachings of the Beatitudes and putting it in a hip hop.
Oh yes! Oh God! Yes!
Okay, I just threw that at you. I'll give that to my next guest too. So, again, how can people get in touch with you? When, where, and what?
All right, people can contact me at Delores DELORES910 at yahoo.com, or by phone 317-400-7907. The play Black Wall Street will premiere at GA5 on February the 25th for 2 performances, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
Is there any fee?
Beg your pardon?
Is there any fee?
Yes, the tickets are on sale. Tickets are $15 in advance and $20 at the door. The location is 10202 East Washington Street, inside the Washington Square Mall. And I had to have ticket prices because I pay these kids to act. And so to cover all of my expenses, I did have to charge for this one. I was wondering if I could mention my sponsors very briefly.
Go ahead. You got 1 minute. Go ahead.
All right. The event sponsor is World Changer School of the Arts with Teresa Sears. Marketing sponsors are the Urban Youth Entrepreneur Academy with Tyrone Chandler.
Okay, how's Tyrone doing?
He's doing well.
Good.
He's doing well with the kids, yeah. And then I have Lachelle Daniel, the literary advocate. And community partners are the Ujama Community Bookstore and Cicely Smith of the Him by Her Foundation. You know, the school is gone, the foundation is still standing. And I just, I'm so appreciative for them for reaching out and helping out to bring this to the stage.
Okay, all righty. Well, you have a good day, and as I say to all of my friends, I will do something the devil won't do for you. You know what that is?
No, what?
Leave you alone.
Oh my goodness, that's cute. Thank you guys so much.
All right, and thank you for sharing us this
Have a good one.
information.
Bye.
All righty. Okay, Clinton, you're gonna